right, let's get into reacts then and see how the internet reacted to Tottenham's win against Burnley. 1 sec. Let me just refresh because... Yeah, here we are. What's this? What's been liked? A friend... Oh, that's my uncle. I don't know what he's like. Anyway, Paul O'Keefe says... And the geezer had the cheek to strop for about 5 minutes after have some shame. Yeah, this was quite a funny moment, wasn't it, Brian? Near the end of the game, Assassinyon trips himself up, it seems here. I don't think there's any contact on him, from what I can see anyway. And he spends the whole time stropping on the floor, and the Burnley captain Dara O'Shea had to go up to him to get him to carry on because he's wasting time. As the minutes tick on, the closer they are to getting relegated, and he's sitting there feigning injury, asking for a penalty when there's been no touch on him, and that was quite a funny moment. He ended up getting booked for it, and his own teammates getting frustrated with him, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, what I will say, I mean, this was obviously, I had the beauty of being able to watch the replays over and over again, being at the pub, not stadium. Fair play to the Burnley captain for doing what he did. Obviously, they're about to go down. They don't want time wasting. There was obviously no penalty. And you know what? I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in the Burnley dressing room once they got in with this, because this is the things you don't want to see. It's blatantly cheating. And trying to, the way he was acting and rolling around like he'd been shot, it's just unacceptable and not called for. And yeah, it's not nice things to see when a game stopped for 5 minutes like this. And well done to the Burnley captain. It was actually good to see a Burnley captain do that.
Talking about things not nice to see, it's 4-0 to Man United in the FA Cup final. So a real final drubbing, Tottenham on the hand there. Dearie me, I think they just want the final whistle at this point. All right, let's keep going. Zara says, right answers only. And Porro was asked, who's better, Ronaldo or Messi? And his response was, Sonny. Who else? Well, the absolutely spot-on answer from Pedro Porro. Absolutely love to see it. Great answer from him. Absolutely spot on there. COYS Daniel says, I love Johnson, but holy hell, the amount of big chances missed. And the stat reads that Johnson leads the way for Tottenham for big chances missed at 16 big chances, which is an extraordinary amount. Yeah, I think probably 2 of them were yesterday, weren't they? With one of them at the back post and the other one where he slid at the back post and he kind of didn't get it over the line. But that's not good enough, is it? At this rate, you know, 16 big chances is look. I guess it's a positive thing that he's getting those chances, but you can't be missing at that rate because it's going to be costing us at the end of the day.
Yeah. Spot on. Like I said, I'm going to back him up, and that stat is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. It's his first season. I think once he's got a pre-season and he gets a bit more confidence about himself, and who knows who's coming in that may be beneficial to him, he has to improve next season. If he doesn't improve next season, then I will turn around and say, time to go. No standing on the ceremony or being sentimental. Out you go. There's key things players need to work on every season, and this is a very, very clear indicator to what Brennan Johnson needs to focus on, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's actually over double the nearest person with Richarlison, who's not exactly the most clinical, and he's only missed 7 big chances. So Brennan Johnson, has a lot of big chances missed, so needs to correct that and become more clinical. But I guess the positive thing is there's something, like if he was getting no chances, then that's one thing. At least he's getting the chances and he just needs to be a bit more clinical when he gets there. And that can come for a young player. So I guess that's a positive, if you know what I mean. I think it would be more worrying if we're sitting here seeing like no chances missed, because all of a sudden you're like, where are the chances coming from?
You know what I'll add to that as well is Timo Werner has played a fraction of the games Brennan Johnson have played. If they played the same, we saw what Werner's finishing was like. It wasn't the greatest. So that stat is a little bit skewed. I'm pretty sure that if Werner had played exactly the same minutes as Johnson, they would be a lot closer to each other. That's still not a real positive thing, but yeah, this is something people can work on and improve.
you're probably right on that, considering that if you look at the shot conversions, Brennan Johnson's on 9.8% and Timo Werner's on 6.9%. So his conversion's even worse. And you look at the players above him, Richarlison 17%, Son's on 21%. So you can see those are the numbers they need to be hitting if they're going to be effective forwards. An account called Hourly Cootie Son. So they just love the Cootie and Son content. They have posted a picture of two fans yesterday wearing Sonny and Romero Hawaiian inspired shirts. Now, Brian, I want to know when you're ordering your shirts, Brian.
Mate, if you remember Mate, if you remember last year when I was in the studio with you for my birthday, I was wearing a very, very loud Hawaiian shirt. So if I could find where I could order one of them, I would order one. And I think I would go with the Romero one.
The Sonny one.
I think I will go with the Cootie one. No, I'd wear both. But if I had my choice, I'd pick Cootie. But yeah, mate, they're wicked things to see. I love those out of the ordinary, not standard. Just those things are wicked. I would easily wear either.
Definitely, I love I do like the look of these shirts. I wouldn't mind going on holiday wearing one of those. That's for sure.
I'm right.
StatMuse says most PL seasons with more than 10 goals and assists by an active player. You've got 9 for Sterling, 8 for De Bruyne, and 8 for Son. So Son now 1 season away, I guess, from catching up with the other two. Just shows what a consistent player he is. Son. Obviously, he didn't really add to that yesterday, so I don't know why they're saying this now. But well, there you have it.
You know what? Let me just add to that, Simeon, because I got a photo. He came in my Leave Out group. They're in a lot of Facebook groups, and I don't join these Tottenham Facebook groups, or if I am members of them, I'm hardly active in them. But there was a stat about Son that came out yesterday, which was, to me, goes to show just how consistent he can. Even though he's been inconsistent recently, we could say. It says, for those that are claiming Sonny is finished, a reminder that this season he has 26 goals and assists across the board. This is 5 more than the must-buy Alexander Isaacs, and is only 4 behind Haaland. So when you look at those stats, and obviously people are saying, "Oh, do you know what? It's Sonny. He's been so inactive on the centre as opposed to the left." You cannot knock his stats. You cannot knock those stats. And like I said, these things are really key indicators. Like you saw with Frank Lampard always getting over 20 goals a season from midfield. It's an incredible stat. You saw Harry Kane constantly hitting. These are, obviously we want to see trophies and whatever, but the Premier League is such a hard league to hit numbers like this, and it just shows the consistency Son that does give.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, when people talk about, is Son this, Son that, Son's the last person we should be talking about replacing at the moment, because he's the only one actually delivering in that front line. If everyone had the numbers in that front line that Son's having, we wouldn't have an issue. Son's the only one maintaining his standards. You got Brennan Johnson, who's inconsistent, doesn't maintain those kind of numbers. Neither does Dijk, neither does Werner, neither does Richarlison. None of them hold a candle to Sonny. And imagine we talked about taking Kane's goals out of the team. Imagine you take Son's goals out of the team as well. Like, that's going to be even harder to replace. So I think Son, I don't know why people are having conversations about him when he's the one actually having a good season compared to the others. Next up from Bell, obviously this is the content we all love after in the Lap of Honor, post-season Lap of Honor. And they said, this is so funny, poor Sonny. And this is Porro having a bit of a joke with Sonny when Porro's going over. I think he's walking around with Sonny's physiotherapist, and he's giving him a handshake. Yeah, Sonny goes over to him and he asks him to basically F off, I think, in Spanish as a joke. And Sonny takes it all in good spirits. Yeah, it was interesting watching everyone walk around their families, and Sonny's there with his physiotherapist. It just, everyone's thinking, when is Sonny going to have his moment where he gets married and finds someone? But we all know what Heung-min Dad has ordered, so that's going to be a while yet. But lovely, funny moments there. I think there'll be more Lap of Honor moments as well. He's always funny in the Lap of Honor, isn't he, Sonny?
It was. Sonny was brilliant, but I have to say the children of some of the players yesterday stole the show. There was, I mean, I don't know if any of them are coming, so I won't give any spoilers or anything. But it is always good to see, and yeah, Sonny. Hopefully, one day we'll see him with his family and his please God wife one day and children and whatever. But yeah, it's nice to see the affection that everyone has for Sonny is there to all see, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. City Chief says here is a quote. It's actually tweeting James Black at the Tottenham Stadium yesterday, singing "I'm City till July, I'm City till July. I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm City till July." What do you think of him singing that at the Spurs Stadium? What do you think? Because he's employed by the club, isn't he? James Black. I love him. I have to say, I think he's brilliant. The great work he's done this season, getting some new songs out there has been fantastic. But what do you think the club will make out of that? Him at the stadium, in his live set, singing "I'm City till July."
Yeah, I mean, listen, obviously you and I know him. Obviously we know Tim Winston from Spurs Song Sheets and the guys at Spurs Song Sheet, which do tremendous work. Whether the songs get used in the ground or just played in your car or on your phone, whatever, they do great work. But some of the problems I had last season when I was doing my Leave Out protest with all the Leave Outers that were doing it and everything was things like this. And this isn't me having a shot at James Black, but it's literally, this is in the Spurs Stadium and we are now celebrating or doing this, and then obviously it gets to other football clubs. It's like, oh, look how pathetic Spurs are. This is what Spurs are. So listen, we all know we're all singing for City. We all know that we want City to win should the filth get a result today. Do I agree with this and being very loudly sang during a Spurs season again where we may have just fallen short? I'm undecided with this whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. But like you said, he is employed by the club.
That's the thing.
God knows what they'll think about it.
Like I've got no problem with him singing it, obviously. Now, and if the Spurs fans want to sing that and whatever, it's a bit of banter, it's a bit of jokes. But it is interesting dynamic when he's a guy employed by the club and he's employed to be there and singing in the stadium, and and he decided to sing that. So I look. I'm not here advocating him getting in trouble or anything. I think he does great work, and I'm really big fan of him. But I do wonder what if the club do see that video, which I'm sure they will, and what the club will they have a word with him saying, "Look, let's just not do that." You're an official kind of ambassador in a way of the club. You can't be seen to be seeing that kind of stuff when we're paying you in our set. So I do wonder what that conversation will look like.
Based on this, just very quickly, based on this, does this mean the club can employ me to have my own singing section and start singing songs?
Singing
I think that'd be very different.
Start singing Enoch out. Yeah, that'd be quite funny.
I can see
that happening. Spurs Express says Richarlison pictured wearing next season's leaked home kit. This was it was his birthday. I think it was his birthday yesterday or birthday weekend or something. And he was actually, I don't know where he got it from, but he got a next season's home kit and he was pictured cutting a cake with it. So I don't know if this is an indication of Richarlison being here next season. Is it a going away present for Richarlison, next season's home kit? Should it be? It's funny he's being pictured with a kit that, as an official player of the club, with a kit that hasn't been launched yet. So basically, Richarlison pretty much confirming this is going to be next season's kit as well. So a bit of a leak there, but a little funny moment there from Richarlison.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we spoke. I came on one of your fan shows and we had a discussion about Nike and their kits. I was like, make a change, do something to the home kit. Well, they have. It reminds me, like Ben said, the Kappa kit. But this is the thing. I don't get what's happening here. We find out from Brazil that Richarlison's injured. We find out from other managers, or we're not getting told injury news. But then they're leaking. I mean, Nike must be having a field day. So this has got out and been. And I'm sure this happens with other football clubs. Obviously, we're paying attention with Spurs, but yeah, I think that's the only time you'll see Richarlison in that shirt. My opinion. And it may. I want to know what it says. The writing on it.
Yeah,
where is it? Happy birthday, or is it what? So if there's any Portuguese speakers that can.
you know what? I don't know what I'm
Maybe
trying.
it's happy birthday. Maybe it's happy birthday. For
Anyone
all we
in the
know.
chat
But you know what?
I know what it says on the shirt. Let us know. Anyone in the chat?
I think that's a nicer home kit than we've had in recent years. In all honesty, I wanted something different from it, and I got it. I won't buy it for obvious reasons, but it's something different, so I appreciate it.
It's very similar to the kit we had under Mourinho in 2021. Like those sleeves is very similar. All right, next one. I thought this was quite funny. An Arsenal account having their piss boiled. He says, Tottenham doing their end of season lap of honour despite still having one home game left tells you everything you need to know. They're not even counting Man City as a game left. Pathetic club. And I do appreciate the piss that it is boiling amongst Arsenal fans, given that Tottenham did their lap of honour yesterday. And now it's as if it's the pettiness we can all get behind, with Tottenham basically not even counting Tuesday as a game at this point. They're like, you know what, we're going to lose anyway. We have the season's over at this point. We're not even counting it as a game. Absolutely love it. I'm sure if we were in Arsenal fans' position, we'd be very annoyed at that. And I appreciate how much it's boiling their piss.
Do you know what is making me laugh? It's the amount of Arsenal fans that have come into the Tottenham Hotspur tweet to slate this and take the piss out of it. But then the Arsenal fans that are retweeting it is just full of the Spurs fans telling them exactly why it was done on Saturday, not on Tuesday, and showing them how stupid you are, because why are we going to do that? And of course, all the players' kids are going to be available at 10 p.m. on a school night and getting home on a... So the amount of piss is boiling from Arsenal fans retweeting how pathetic we are, and then the Spurs fans going into the Arsenal tweets saying how pathetic they are, is just the kind of banter you want to see, really, isn't it?
Absolutely fantastic. Another picture here from yesterday, Richarlison waving his flag before the game. Obviously, his flag is there near the bottom of the south stand, and there was a really nice moment at the end of the beginning of the game. Richarlison going over and getting his flag and waving it. Is that a sign? Maybe he's saying goodbye to the fans. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that was a nice moment I thought before the game as well. Yesterday, is there anything to read into that, Brian? Do you think?
Like I said, I think it's done. But what I will say about this is whether he goes, whether he stays, I personally think he's gone. People may be divided opinion of Richarlison the player, but Richarlison the man is someone I would love to get to know. People say I'd love to spend a day with Sonny. The guy that does a lot of work for charities back in Brazil, the guy that came out about his mental health, the players seem to love him. He is a character. And for me, he will be a sore miss at Tottenham, the man. And what I will say, I've seen a lot of fans saying, do you know what? He stayed and signed every single post for every single picture, signed every single thing that was asked of him. He adores the connection he builds with fans everywhere he goes. And I would love to spend a day with him. I would love to. And if he is going like I think he is, like I said, I wish him nothing but success wherever he goes.
SVR says, still warms my heart so much every time I think about Ben choosing Sonny to be his son's godfather. And we all know that Sonny is the right person for the role. Family for real, for life. And there's Uncle Sonny with Ben Davis's son here. Lovely little moment. Always warms the heart watching Sonny just be himself, especially with his teammates' kids. He's going to be a great dad, isn't he, Sonny? But it's a great little video here from Son with his teammates' family, and he's always warms the heart.
I'll tell you what, Simon, what I will add with this, it changed for me when my sister and I became an uncle. You've become an uncle this season. And when you see things like this, it just hits your heart in a different way. I think these scenes are wonderful. I would give anything to be able to hold my niece or be with my nephews right now. So when you see things like this, it's just wonderful to see. Like I said, the kids stole the show at this lap of honour this time. And seeing Sonny, look at the love in his eyes. It's a wonderful thing to see.
Absolutely phenomenal video. Sonny on Instagram after the game said, the right way to bounce back today after a couple of tough weeks, 3 points, and now we want to finish as strong as we can. We'll give everything as a team for the next 2 games. Next up, Tottenham tweeting about the Player of the Season awards. The official Supporters Club Player of the Season, One Hotspur Player of the Season, and Junior One Hotspur Player of the Season was given to Mickey van der Ven. A fine first campaign in Lily White for Mickey van der Ven. So there was him receiving his award after the game yesterday. Well deserved for what was a stellar campaign for Mickey van der Ven. Some more videos yesterday coming from the Lap of Honor. Pape asking Sonny to take pics with him and his friends. Everything can be done with just a hug. And this was a lovely moment here. Pape hugging him and Son and asking him if he could come over and take some pics. And Sonny's like, where? Come on, let's go. Let's go take some pics. He's all for it. Of course he is, Sonny. All love with him as well all the time. Absolutely love to see it. And another great video of him meeting Mama Vic and Papa Vic, Vicario's parents, yesterday. A really heartwarming moment. You might have seen them around the Spurs stadium or in the away end sometimes. I think a lot of people have bumped into them in away ends this season. So it was a really heartwarming moment to see Vicario's parents getting some pictures with Sonny. And he's always so natural with everyone, isn't he, Sonny? And there's more examples of that.
He is. I mean, obviously, fantastic. People like this, they get pictures all the time. He's just always so happy to do things. Like you said, seeing Vicario's parents, I think they sat quite close to us when we were at the NLD at their ground. I believe we were told we were quite close to them. It's lovely to see. I do love, regardless where we finish at the end of the season, to see the interaction between families and players. It's just so nice to see.
And Sonny's always central to it. Madison tweeted out yesterday saying, thanks for all your support today and for the season. Has blew me away, honestly. I'm so happy to be here and play for this club. Let's finish the season strong and be better off next year for it. Yeah, absolutely right. And as you say, Madison's little boys really did steal the show in the Lap of Honor. We might have a video of it, I'm not sure. PierreEmerick Aubameyang on Instagram saying 23-24 season almost coming to an end, a season with a lot of experience gained. I'll always try to push my limits no matter the circumstances. That's who I am. Today I'm no different with my family by my side. Nothing is impossible, but I always understood that hard work is down to yourself. I take this moment to say thank you to everyone who came along this year, to my teammates who pushed along every day. As long as the fans always being behind us, let's try and push until the end as always. Nice little message there from Pierre, probably his last message as a Tottenham player, I'd assume. We'll have to wait and see. Lovely moment here at the end of the game between Van der Ven and Romero. Hug there between the match winner and his more experienced teammate. Lovely little moment after the game. Paul O'Keefe says, what a finish that is, like a seasoned number 9. Outstanding. And that was talking about, obviously, Van der Ven's goal. And here it is, you can see here, tweeted out by, I think it was Johnny H. This is his footage. But, like, it's just an incredible goal, isn't it, from Van der Ven? How he cut inside and finished it. I don't know how he's able to get the power with such a little backlift. Incredible. And obviously, look at the passion.
It really is.
And celebrate. And here's the video of Madison's son scoring a penalty in the Lap of Honor yesterday, and then doing is this him doing the Richarlison pigeon celebration? Unbelievable moment. What a lad. Unbelievable video. Fantastic. Madison's really, I wonder if they discussed that before. That's what you're going to be doing in front of the Spurs fans. The Spurs fans were very, getting involved as well. They were participating in it. Made it a special moment for him. Tottenham tweeting, our goal scorers. There's a picture of Van der Ven and Porro. They're fantastic picture. Great for them to be the match winners. Picture here from Bell says, this is a meme with Son saying, hi Decky mate, can I have a normal pass across the face of goal please? Thanks pal. And Decky says, F you.
I haven't seen that one. That is brilliant. That is brilliant.
Sums up feeling around Decky at the moment. It's full time, by the way.
It is, isn't it?
Wembley. Full time 4-0 Wembley, unfortunately. Not. Do
you know what's in? What I will say with that, unlucky to the women. What I'll say with that is unlucky to the women, but what I said it before earlier. You just know that Paddy Power have a video ready to go. If we win it, to say the women have won something before the men, or if we lose it, to say, oh God, even the women are Spursy, and you just know, unfortunately, which one's coming out now. There will be you can bet your ass, there will be a Paddy Power video coming out unfortunately. But unlucky to the ladies. Well done for getting to the final. And as we say in the men's team, there's always next year.
Exactly. Squawker says Kieran Trippier is the only defender to be directly involved in more Premier League goals this season. Pedro Porro, Tottenham's past, present, and future. Yeah, look, and that just goes to show how effective Porro is in that position. And I think he's shown everyone, the ability and the potential he does have, hasn't he, this season?
100. Like I said, obviously, you know how I felt about him at the beginning of the season at right back. Loved him as a advanced. He's the most improved player for me at the club. We're talking about players in the last year of their contracts, getting rid and selling. There's certain people that I think deserve brand new contracts and renewals. Pedro Porro is very, very high on that list. Very, very high on that list. He's brilliant.
Absolutely. Charlie Eccleshare says Postecoglou says the main reason he hasn't played Van de Ven at left back and up until now is because of the physical demands of the season and the physical issues he's had earlier in the season. So kind of sounds like he wanted to avoid Van de Ven getting another kind of hamstring injury, which is the reason he didn't play.
Do you know what? Now you hear it, it makes complete sense. We know how demanding that left back role is. We know how vital Van de Ven is. So yeah, for me, it makes perfect sense to not want to risk him getting injured. To me, he's pivotal to our defence and the team.